I want to know what you guys were doing yesterday. Yesterday was July 4th. I would imagine most of you guys were off work. For me personally, July 4th, one of my least favorite holidays of the year, not because of the sentiment behind it. I appreciate the meaning of July 4th. I respect the celebration of the founding of this country, the greatest country the world's ever seen. The only reason July 4th is one of my least favorite holidays is because it just happens to be in the summer. I don't like the summer. I don't like the brutally hot weather down here in the South. But even with that being the case, I still enjoyed my 4th of July. I would imagine that most of you guys had celebrations yesterday that were similar to mine. My sister had family and friends over at her house. We shot fireworks with the kids, the neighbors that lived directly behind her. They put on these elaborate fireworks shows every year on New Year's and the 4th of July. Maybe some of you spent the day on the water. Maybe you went to the beach or spent the day in the mountains. Maybe some of you indulged too heavily and you're nursing the hangover this morning. But whatever you did yesterday, I am sure, there was nothing but appreciation and positivity. Appreciating the fact that you live in a country where you enjoy freedoms that you just can't get anywhere else in the world. Now, that's just a few examples of how normal people celebrate the 4th of July. But do you ever wonder how the shit fucks choose to honor the holiday? I know most of them are still suffering through the bruised caboose. I know most of them are partied out after banging the bongo the last 4 weeks during the endless pride parades during the month of woke Christmas. Even though they are dealing with the woke hangover, you would think they would take the time to celebrate the country that gives them the freedom to be completely unbearable. You would think they would celebrate the country that gives them the opportunity to become millionaires. How did parishioners of Woke United Methodists celebrate America yesterday? Well, infamous WNBA dump diver Natasha Cloud, she continued her week-long rant complaining about America being trash while processing America's trash. Bud Light, they celebrated by sending out a poorly worded tweet. Never underestimate the power of a makeshift mister. I swear, they just make it too easy sometimes. Makeshift mister? Bud Light, they are very familiar with those who identify as a makeshift mister. Hell, they spent the last 3 months trying to distance themselves from one. But you can make a strong case that no one climaxed the woke boner yesterday better than the duo of G's known as Ben and Jerry. 45 years ago, Ben Cohen, Jerry Greenfield, they were inspired to start an ice cream company. The inspiration actually came during one of their late night parties. In the late 1970s, the two G's, they would be up all night playing round after round of Spin the Cucumber. After the final round concluded, Ben rested his head on Jerry's shoulder as they wrapped their arms around each other. Benny was beginning to doze off, anticipating dreams of a shirtless Chris Cuomo draped in rainbows. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C! All of a sudden, he was awakened with a brilliant idea. After hours of consuming the cucumber, what better way to wash it down than with a nice bowl of ice cream? So, Ben&Jerry's was born. They started out in Vermont, and after 45 years of growth, Ben&Jerry's has over 600 locations in the United States. That evil, evil country where dreams are not allowed to come to reality. Ben&Jerry's is mostly known for their unique flavors of ice cream that are often named after inspiring shitfucks. For example, they offer a flavor called Colin Kaepernick. This mixture of chocolate and vanilla. It is the preferred flavor of birthing persons who enjoy spending time on their knees. There's a mixture named after Bob Greiner. This dark chocolate ice cream is preferred by the ladies who want to have an appearance of having a mustache on their face. Ben Cohen, Jerry Greenfield, they have become multi-millionaires by selling overpriced ice cream to American consumers. How do they show their gratitude? How do they honor those consumers who made them rich? Better yet, how do they choose to celebrate and honor the country that gave them the opportunity to create generational wealth? They did so by shitting all over America on her birthday. You know, this is a trend that needs to stop. Normal people, We are only given a handful of days every year to celebrate, and it seems like every time we have a holiday, the shit fucks want to ruin it. Parishioners of Woke United Methodist, they just had an entire month to celebrate their depravity. We get one day, and they want to take it from us. They want to lecture us on how evil we are. Yesterday, Ben&Jerry's, they published a video talking about the evil history of America. Of course, the BJs, they weren't on the video themselves. They utilized the broadcast communications department at Woke U and hired some strange-looking student who looks like they're not old enough to buy a lottery ticket to deliver this lecture to us normal people. The BJs put this young girl in front of an American flag, gave her a script to illustrate to normal people just how evil America is. Watch for yourself.
Land of the free, or so we thought. We need to talk about Mount Rushmore. That mountain in South Dakota with the faces of 4 presidents blasted into it. You've seen the pictures. What the pictures don't show and what isn't talked about much is that Mount Rushmore is actually a holy mountain to the Lakota Sioux. Then in 1927, their holy mountain was dynamited to honor their colonizers. That's so messed up. 2 of the 4 white men whose faces were blasted onto the mountain enslaved people. And all of them were hostile to indigenous people and their values. The truth is, our entire country exists on stolen indigenous land. This Independence Day, let's give it back. Return Mount Rushmore to the Lakota.
Really? Really? Are we really doing this again with Mount Rushmore? I'm struggling to understand what the hell is so triggering about Mount Rushmore. This damn mountain is located in South Dakota, one of the least populated states in America. Unless you have family living there, you literally have no reason to visit South Dakota. If the deacons are so triggered with Mount Rushmore, there's a simple solution to the problem. Don't go to South Dakota. Now, there are 2 reasons they pretend to be triggered with Mount Rushmore. The first reason was given to us last summer by Father Jalen Rose, former pastor at Woke United Methodist, before his dumbass was fired by ESPN. According to Jalen Rose, Mount Rushmore is so triggering because it shows the faces of 4 evil white men. Where is the diversity? Where is the inclusion? Those are interesting questions, Father Jalen, because I have those same questions every time I watch ESPN. Where's the diversity at ESPN? Every time I turn on ESPN, I got to double check the channel because I think I mistakenly selected BET. Now, the second reason Mount Rushmore is a problem, it was given to us by whoever the hell that was in BJ's video, who should immediately contact Dylan Mulvaney for assistance on the Maybelline. This mountain is triggering! This land was stolen from the Guardians! These evil Americans took their land just so they could honor themselves with a statue! And you know how much we hate statues! We must atone for these sins! We must give all the land in America back to the Guardians! Let me ask you something. Actually, let me ask Ben&Jerry something. Since you obviously feel so strongly about this, what are you doing about it? I mean, you personally, Ben Cohen, Jerry Greenfield, what are you doing about it? I checked random locations for Ben&Jerry's this morning. I didn't see a for sale sign out in front. I didn't see that these locations were closed because the land was being given back to the Guardians. Matter of fact, every single location open for business. That doesn't make any sense. You just told me yesterday that you wanted all land given back to the Guardians. And look, it doesn't have to be the Guardians. I would be okay with you giving your land back to the Commanders. How come Ben&Jerry are refusing to practice what they preach? Of course, they don't want to give up their land. They want you to give up your land. Throughout human history, how has land been acquired? I'm not talking about your typical real estate exchange. I'm talking about the overtaking of land. How has that happened throughout history? Most of the time, it's through war. I thought the shitfucks were against war. I know for a fact they're against the use of firearms, so how is this going to take place? Are they going to use bow and arrows? Are they going to use the super soaker? Ben&Jerry's has a long history of trashing America that is largely flown under the radar until now. Last week, they expressed their fake outrage over the Supreme Court overturning affirmative action. What does affirmative action have to do with ice cream? Nothing! Actually, it makes their hiring process a hell of a lot easier. Instead of hiring candidates based on some racial quota, they can now hire the best candidate for the job. Ben&Jerry, they also have a problem with Israel occupying land that they believe belongs to the Palestinians. Now, this is rather confusing considering the fact that both Ben&Jerry are Jewish. Whatever. It gets even better. Guess what else Ben&Jerry supports? Defunding the police. Back in 2021, they debuted a new and improved flavor of ice cream. It was called Strawberry Social Worker Blitz. My inside sources tell me it is the preferred flavor of Little Red Riding Hood, Jen Psaki. Ben&Jerry, they were supporting legislation that was being pushed by Cori Bush, who I believe now is unemployed and collecting woke welfare. But either way, 2 years ago, the Cori, who identifies as female but has a masculine name, she was pushing legislation that will replace police officers with social workers. Yeah. All my ladies out there who find themselves in a precarious situation with their boyfriends or husbands, don't call the police, call social worker Shanice. Shanice is an expert. When Tommy Temper is in a drunken rage, Shanice has this unique ability to get him to open up about his traumatic childhood. Ben&Jerry's is an absolute disgrace. This company is a disgrace. Now, I don't know if they're going to be boycotted. I don't know if the anger will reach the level we saw with Bud Light, but it is abundantly clear to me these woke corporations, they just don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about America. Hell, Ben&Jerry's, they don't care about producing ice cream. The only thing they care about is pushing their personal ideology onto you. But give me your thoughts. Ben&Jerry's trashes America on her birthday. And them doing this on the 4th of July, this was no accident. If this same video was posted on September 1st, it probably goes unnoticed. They did this on purpose. They knew this would get them publicity. Hopefully, it gets them the wrong kind of publicity and has a detrimental impact on their business. Do you think that will be the case? Will we see a boycott of Ben&Jerry's? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, kc_btl84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.